Okay guys, welcome to your video tutorial on the principal beliefs of Islam. Within the great tradition of Islam, there are 6 principal beliefs. When we look at the characteristics, we say that sacred texts in a religion contain the principal beliefs. And of course, if Islam is a religion, it does too. So these principal beliefs of Tawhid, Akira, Rusul, books of Allah, angels, fate and predestination. All of these concepts and ideas and central doctrines are contained within the sacred texts of Islam. So within the Quran and the Hadiths. Okay? I'm going to look at each one. This again is a super quick summary. I'm going to look at each one separately, just summarize in a few words what it is, and then look at an example whereby which the sacred text communicates this belief. So the belief in Tawhid. Tawhid is the oneness of Allah. It is the central concept and belief within Islam. There is one God. He is all-knowing, all-powerful, all-loving. His name is Allah. Okay? He is one. There is none like him. And the central aim of Islam is to submit to his will. Okay? When you look within, now this word surah, okay, I'm hoping you guys all remember this. This word surah is like chapter, okay, within other sacred texts. So within the Jewish sacred text of the Torah, they have names, they give chapters, like Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, okay. Within the Christian scriptures, if we look within the Christian scriptures, we have names, we give different books. The Gospel of Mark, the Gospel of Luke, the Gospel of John. Okay, within the great Islamic tradition, okay, they have chapters. They just call them chapter 112, chapter 5, chapter 9, chapter 12. Okay, the word surah means chapter. Okay, so this surah here says, He is Allah, the One. Allah is eternal and absolute. None is born of Him. He is unborn. There is none like unto Him. That really summarizes an Islamic understanding of Tawhid. There is one God, okay? It is a monotheistic, I think that's right, belief, okay? It's a belief in one God. If you want some subject-specific terminology, mono meaning one, theistic meaning God, theology really, monotheistic, okay? The second belief in Islam is the belief in Akira, which is life after death or eternal life. One of the central doctrines within Islam is that life is to be understood as being divided into 2 parts. The first part being the mortal and temporary life, and the second part being eternal life, which follows death. Now, Muslims believe that those who die before the Day of Judgment will have their souls taken to a place of waiting, known as barzakh. Okay, and then on the Day of Judgment, all will be judged in front of Allah for the good deeds that they have done, or the bad deeds that they have done. Again, if we go to it, it's going to touch on another concept. It's the belief in angels, because angels are the ones who record. They record the good actions and the bad actions of every human being. They also believe in the idea of heaven and of paradise for those who have submitted to the will of Allah. And this is known as Jannah. Jannah. That's another kind of central concept when you're looking at life after death. Now, an ahadith, or from the hadith, is this idea here. And it says, the first of his actions for which a servant of Allah will be held accountable on the day of resurrection. Resurrection will be his prayers. Okay, so the hadiths are the words and the sayings of Muhammad as verified by those around him, and this is verified on the authority of this guy here. Okay, Abu Hurairah, I think. Now, don't take me on the pronunciation. But this really demonstrates the fact that there is an opportunity for life after death. You will be judged based on your actions and held accountable to Allah. The third idea is Rusul. Rusul refers to the prophets, and it's this idea that the will of Allah and a revelation of who Allah actually is has been communicated to humanity throughout a range of different vessels throughout time. Okay, Rusul refers to the prophets. Islam recognizes a whole variety of prophets. So the prophets that are also recognized by the Christian and the Jewish traditions, Abraham, David, and Moses. You've also got prophets that they recognize from the Christian tradition. So just Jesus, who they call Isa. However, the final prophet in Islam that they recognize is Muhammad. And Muhammad is the final, they refer to him as the final and the greatest prophet. If you look within chapter 42, verse 13 here, this surah, it says, Allah chooses for himself whoever he pleases and guides to himself those who turn unto him. This really summarizes Rusul. There's this idea that Allah has chosen these people as vessels to communicate his message, and he guides to himself those who choose to turn to him from these people. The books of Allah, this idea of prophecy, this idea of communication of key concepts is contained in a range of different books. The most important book of Allah is the Quran, and it is the most sacred text within Islam. However, they do recognize a whole range of other books. The scrolls given to Ibrahim, or Abraham as he's known to the Christian tradition, they are called the Safiya. The books that were revealed to Muhammad, or Musa, as they call him, are known as the Torah. Those revealed to Dawid are known as the Zabur. Okay, King David is also recognized by the Jewish and Christian traditions. And the teachings given to Isa, or Jesus, are known as Injil, so that's the Gospels. They are all recognized as containing a prophecy about God. However, the Quran is the most important book of Allah, as it contains the key central tenets of Islam. The other belief that we've touched on before within Islam is the fact that angels exist. They believe in these spiritual beings that act as a medium between the physical and the supernatural world. Each individual person has two guardians, two angels who, like I've said previously when talking about Akira, document actions of each individual throughout their life. And this surah, number 50, says, "Behold, two guardians appointed to learn his doings, one sitting on his right and one on his left. Not a word does he utter, but there is sentinel by him, ready to note it." So you cannot do anything, is what it's saying. You cannot do anything without the knowledge of your angels. Okay, so there's two angels who exist as this medium that connect you to the supernatural. And on the day of judgment, it is your angels that will recount your good deeds. The final belief in Islam is a very interesting one. It's called fate and predestination. Now, Islamic people believe that all things happen through the plan of Allah, and Allah knows. He is all-knowing. Tawhid says Allah is all-knowing, all-powerful. The fact that everything happens through the plan of Allah is called al-Qadar. Okay? Allah knows everything. Everything happens through his plan. However, that doesn't mean that as humans, Islamic people believe that they are passive and they don't have control over their actions. Islam clearly dictates that humans have control over their actions. They are able to control and choose their destination. However, Allah already knows it. So this idea of fate or having absolutely no control over what happens is rejected by Islam. Rather, they believe Allah has a plan for them. Allah knows that plan, and it's up to them to take an active role in their life in order to work out what that plan is. If you look here at this quote down the bottom from Surah 41:46, it says, "For good actions will benefit only you, while evil harms only the person who does it." Okay, so there's this idea that you do good in your life, okay? You do good and you have choice over what you do in your life. Evil only harms the person who commits the evil. You have a choice on what kind of actions that you wish to be and the kind of person you want to be. Allah does know it. Allah does know you and Allah does have a plan for you, but you have a choice over what it is you choose to do.